3 centuries of the Tokugawa's repressive rule, the Black Ships appeared without warning, and our nation began to tear itself apart.
Alright guys, at number 1, and well, technically Team Ninja at the moment goes a long way for new games. So, assuming you're not keen to this specific one yet, the fine folks at the company just announced their next game going by Rise of the Ronin. Guys, this is a PlayStation 5 exclusive by Team Ninja and Koei Tecmo. There are initially promising a multi-layered story that showcases 19th century-ish Japanese Ronin life sim something. Game set to be released sometime in 2024. Check it out.
Your time has come. Rise as one.
Not the nicest neighborhood in town. Oof. Oh, I forgot to introduce myself. I'm Gemini. What? I'm not the Gemini you first met?
A couple of days ago, we came across a roughly 40-minute gameplay trailer for Lies of P, which was also probably captured through the showcase, the Gamescom as well. Guys, Lies of P, for those of you still somehow new to, is obviously, hence the list, a Souls-like action RPG like Elden Ring, albeit starring the character Pinocchio, and taking a lot of cues from Bloodborne games instead. Take a look. Games now coming to PCs and all consoles as well except Switch early to mid 2023.
Finally, we meet, son.
Close your eyes, come to me, feel alright, just dance with me all through the night. Turn it out.
Cruelest tyranny. Man finally defeated its overlord. But gods do not fall forever.
Now, I've actually mentioned this one a couple of days ago, but if you have missed out on the news, Lords of the Fallen is also back, and this time it begins with a V. This is a spiritual successor to Lords of the Fallen, obviously, and will continue the Souls RPG legacy of the first one, but then taking place 1,000 years after the events of that game. The folks at the company just came up with a 3-minute cinematic in addition to a gameplay trailer, said the game is releasing for PCs and the next generation of consoles only sometime next year. Next up, we've got Wukong Fallen Dynasty by Team Ninja once again. An action RPG semi-open world IP from earlier this year, which is actually set to be released early next year. Well, what do you know? A demo for the game is set to be coming our way in about a week for the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X only. Team Ninja then actually even released a new trailer, said the game is set in a much darker version of China's Three Kingdom period and just as hard as the old Team Ninja's 2 Naya or Nia games. I still don't know how to pronounce this game. Anyway, take a look. And number 5, and this is technically from a few months ago, but just in case you missed it, we have an indie Souls-like game from a company called Euclidean, I believe, Games, going by the name Nazralath: The Fallen World. That's a nice name. This is an action RPG, maybe an open world to some extent, nobody knows, and taking cues from Dark Souls, specifically 3, I guess. Check it out. Game's set to be coming to PCs only sometime next year. A couple of months ago, Game Science, the Chinese developers of Black Myth Wukong, once again did come up with 2 more trailers this time actually. A cinematic, more of a cutscene something, and also some more gameplay. In case you missed it, Black Myth Wukong, the Souls-like open-world action RPG in the making, still doesn't have a specific release date. All we know is that it's on its way to PCs and the next generation of consoles by the end of 2023. Coming up behind that, we have Bleak Faith Forsaken. This is one of the longest awaited Souls-like games in the making. Personally, I've actually been waiting for 2 years to have hands on this one, and all you can actually do right now is that you can find the game on Steam and wishlist it. It is set to be released by the end of this year. The game is coming to PCs, PlayStation 4 and Xbox One only, maybe for the next generation of consoles at a later date, and it is technically a lot in the same vein as Elden Ring. Check it out, this is also an action RPG open world game.
You burned our homes and slaughtered our families. No longer am I frozen in terror, grief, and rage.
Next up, by the same publishers of the new Lord of the Rings Gollum game, Steel Rising and a bunch of other games in development, even though Steel Rising is actually out. Well, we have actually from a couple of months ago something else called Hell Is Us. This is a time-traveling third-person action adventure as it is described by developers, and one that is actually being built using Unreal Engine 5. This is the only trailer we got for it from earlier this year, and the game is set to be coming to PCs and next generation of consoles only next year. Now, Flintlock, The Siege of Dawn, on the other hand, actually came out with just this past month, and it's also a Souls-like action RPG by the old publishers Kelper, who's at the moment developing something else, another game called Scorn. That's a first-person shooter horror game, something that's been in development since 12 years ago. Anyway, guys, Flintlock is a pretty unique game as opposed to the old action RPG formula. This is a trailer, this is actually a new trailer, and it's set to be released early to mid next year. Take a look. Coming up behind that at number 10, we've got once again Mortal Right. This is a roguelite Souls-like by a 5-man team called Round Toast Studios that actually started development of the game since last year, and even through a Kickstarter campaign. The Kickstarter campaign is actually still live in case this is something for you. Besides the Souls and rogue-like elements, as you can see, this game is mostly an action role player, and it even supports co-op for up to 5 players. Check it out, the game is coming to PCs only and due out later this year. Guys, moving on, we have Project Erath, or Eargath. Guys, this is a single-player action RPG Souls-like, obviously, with a heavy emphasis on the combat mechanics, or as it is stated by the single developer. I didn't know this myself through the news, but as I did look it up, the game now has a Steam page and it is even retitled to something called Crywet, I think. The game is available to be wishlisted on Steam. Here's a trailer, and it's set to be released for PCs only around March next year. Check it out. And last but not least, our honorable mention today, we've got Still Rising, as I've mentioned earlier, that finally hit the gaming world a couple of weeks ago, and as an outstanding open world RPG Souls-like in almost every single way. But here's the thing, unless I would say you have played Elden Ring and Dark Souls games, a few of them, or at least Bloodborne, there's a slight recommend for you to go and pick this one up. Game's got a good story, it's got an interesting setting, got a very interesting setting actually, looks pretty good, works pretty good, it's a deep story, quite fine-tuned, and it'll take you down $50.